Alrighty, hello, hello, good evening. How are we doing? Alright, let's see. Evening, Mihail. Mando, just... literally just in time. Literally as I just turned on the mic. Good timing. Okay, let's see this thing again. It's gonna be moving during the whole evening anyway. Stealth. Just waiting for others to comment. What, to spook them with German? I'm not one of those first guys. Well, too bad, you have the #1 now. Enjoy. well, Mihail, I hope so too. Hope your internet is gonna be stable and not gonna be wonky. At least for the portion when we get to the story. But first we need to get to the story. Alright, time to see this. What is gonna be the story for the drunken summoner? Considering that it's already called drunk today. Use Ling summons 20 times. Okay. What harm is there getting drunk for the realm? This is gonna be a story. What do we do with a drunken sailor? Of course she's gonna get this. Of course she's gonna get this thing. Oh, let's go with the coins. Why not? Not like it matters here. This matters though. In a sense. In a sense, this matters. Well, we're doing summons, so... more summons. Toss immediately all the coins. From sweetness and sorrow is wine brewed, for joy and anger man already knows. This one is just gonna be all the stupid stupid sentences that are in some way playing into drinking. Sure. Sure, ground. Whatever. It's fine. Oh god. Oh god, Mando. Oh god. Oh god, no, come on. Oh. We're starting early. Hey there, Crystal. You are in time for all the puns, apparently. I'm doing the fresh hell that is trying to update Enfield. Does anyone know what the fuck is it? What do you mean? It's just an update. No, it's the same file size. It's just like 5 gigabytes larger. It's just a normal update. You said the word that you should play more Europe, she said. Send me into a downward spiral of a question. What game characters of Reavers could have played? Oh god. Yeah, the update itself is 35 gigabytes because you are essentially... They did a lot of adjustments, which means a lot of files need to be replaced, which means you're basically downloading the same file but fixed and updated and more crisper or whatever the hell they did to it, but it's replacing the old file. That's pretty much how most games do updates. If a file is updated and needs to be replaced, you're downloading the same file that is already on your system, but the old file goes out, the new file goes in. They did a shit ton, apparently, of fixes and stuff. I didn't look at the patch notes, but they apparently did a shit ton of fixes. So pretty much the entire game gets replaced with freshly updated files. But yeah, anyway, Mihail, good question. that is definitely a downward spiral of a thought. What games or stuff would Reavers characters play? Good lord. Attack, sure. But yeah, TLDR, the update is literally 5 or 7 gigabytes or something like that. Yeah, and fine, your final hard drive space is literally gonna be 5 or more gigabytes occupied than it is right now from the game. Still love gacha currencies, at least compared to OG Arknights. The game is so fresh, they're gonna add so many freaking weekly reset things that in due time you're not gonna complain anymore. Like every single other gacha game, it's gonna get so many of them. Gain 2 coupons. Gain 8 ingots? Sure. Gain ingots and gain this. Well, yeah. I honestly do not remember a single gacha that I played that had every single, like, late game currency thing that refreshes weekly or bi-weekly or whatever the hell from the start outside of one mode. And then you wait. If it asks for more, it's just don't want to delete. I mean, you could literally delete the game and freshly install it. Crystal, you could literally just delete the game and freshly install it. But if you have enough space, you don't need to do it. Just let it download stuff. It's literally downloading a fresh pack, deleting the old packs, and placing the new ones in. it's pretty much just a fix. If the original game is 35, 40, 45 gigabytes, you're just gonna have a new folder with 45 gigabytes, and that's done. I think the folder right now is like 45 gigabytes after the update. Do you start Sky? The Sky recording is done. It literally finished rendering like 40 minutes ago, but I didn't have time to upload the episode. No for the games that Verdant Bling Metal Gear up to solid. Okay. Resident Evil up to third part. Fallout 1 and 2. Final Fantasy up to 8th Doom. That's an interesting choice. To be fair, yeah, she was. Yeah, she is a 90s kid. She would. The original Baldur's Gate. 700 megs free space, well, that's what I gotta do, it seems. Yeah, if you don't have right now space to download a whole... download the game again so it replaces the old files, just delete the game and let it download itself again. But yeah, the new required space I think right now is like 45 or 50 gigabytes. Up to 50. If I spotted that one character, I don't know which character you wanted me to react to. If it's the picture with the military people, I mean, the only thing I literally said, I think, during the recording is it's nice to see that all of these guys are now here because originally they weren't here. Like, I can't remember which specific character you wanted me to react to. Honestly, the only character in the whole picture that I didn't realize who it is, and I still don't really know who the fuck that guy is, outside of maybe is that Sid, was the guy on the liberal side all the way on the right. Roy Gramhart? Where was he in the picture? Listen, space. Okay, Vendigo, I'm back to watch. Jesus. Rightmost, leftmost, sure, leftmost, why not? Put all on left. All in on left side. Okay, I will have to remind myself because I recognize the name. I recognize the name and I cannot put the name to the person right now in my head, at least. Roy Gramhart. Oh, him. Right. Right. Yeah, right, because they said that Calvert was coming to help, but they were being obviously late because everything was taking place so fast. Right. Right. Okay. I honestly did not recognize him. But by the way, it's so hard to see who the fuck is where when you pause the game because the game is auto-scrolling during that whole scene. It's a cutscene. When you pause the game, everything is like double dark. I could barely see anything on the sidelines. Do you know that according to insiders venting to reporters, the Republicans didn't actually realize Aaron. Okay, I'm really not following that, so doesn't really tell me much. Doesn't really tell me much right now, Crystal. Again, this is not a political stream. I really don't care what they're doing. They're just being idiots. Let them be idiots. You're not living there. You're not living in any of those places. Follow the news. Feel bad for people, but you or me can't change shit. It is what it is until the American populace wakes the fuck up. And leave it at that. Put that into the bin. It's hard to see, but he is one of the few characters whose eyes were shown. Yeah, he is one of the rare characters that they actually put eyes on, which is very interesting. While it's very also funny to see how sparse the left side was. Because the left side only had military representation, while the right side had military representation, but also with Roy in the picture there, it's also essentially a political figure in the whole picture, which is very interesting. I still have coins, give me. What's this one? Rightmost, 30 cost plus 30 cost limit. When DP is 99 or higher, all units gain 50% HP and block +1. Sure. Sure. Takes a while to ramp up to it. Okay. Which ending are we going for? No ending, we're doing Ling story. Title of the stream, Crystal. God, is such a cool dude. He really is, until he scams you. Until he absolutely scams you. Okay, brother Yi, what are you selling? That's practically nothing. All allied units, resistance and arts dodge is also nothing. 5 initial SP increases the SP regen rate of offensive and defensive skills. Sure. 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 Guards have less defense but gain attack and attack speed. That's gonna cost me a lot of life points. Thank you, brother E. Can't do shit with that. What do you have in your other shop? Healing effectiveness isn't bad. I'll take that, sure. Okay, this is a dead end. What is here? Okay. Toss the shit. Not good enough, Crystal. Doesn't the next expansion add the new ending? Yeah, the next expansion is gonna add the new ending, but it apparently drops on the 19th, which is gonna be the same day that the next story is dropping. So I will not be streaming for at least 2 or 3 weeks until the story is gonna be done. I'm not doing like 8-hour work days to just get a single Let's Play episode out, a normal one, not Enfield. Enfield is a different beast. Or also on top of it spending like 20 plus hours per voiceover episode for Arknights in the middle of everything else. There's not gonna be streams at least for 2 weeks after the 19th. On dosage. Oh, it's a risk one. HP attack, initial SP, and DP cost of a random operator plus 100% every battle can be upgraded. You know what? You know what? Not a bad risk one. Not a bad risk one. Can I even do anything with this? Oh, it's this thing. Not for now, thank you. Okay, give me that. Oh, hi. It's the other brother. Ask for wisdom. Chance to gain 2 candles. Chance to gain 3 candles, but price may also increase. Sure, let's go with the normal one. Lose half your ingots, but gain 2 candles, sure. Thank you. Okay, I can still go then. Leisure. Hi. Gamble. Thanks. Bye. Oh, another one. Lose 2 ingots, but recruit an operator. Yoink. How did I find the loop hero mode? It's very fun. The rebuilding method is pretty fun. Just takes a lot of time. Like a lot of time to play through the whole thing. But it's fun. I think I said it at the end of the stream. If they do decide to do and add this thing as a permanent mode, like they do with IS and everything else, I do hope they're actually gonna add a story into it. Would be fun, actually. So Jacob's mantra for the next week is main story. Haha. God. It's gonna be actually... I honestly have no idea how much she's gonna be present during the whole next main story. I know she's on the poster for like the main like art piece for the story that I've seen. But good God, her voice lines are gonna be interesting to do and pay attention to. Because like 95% of the time she's just speaking in like a telepathic version, which means I'm gonna have to do the echo thing. And the 5% of time where she's actually speaking, she is probably wrecking a fool's life. Build your weekly outpost and run. I mean, it could work as well for like an SSS mode. I'm just saying, it doesn't matter, it can be a new SSS mode. I would just appreciate some story to it, like an actual story mode. Like the other game modes have, outside of SSS. They can do it. They proved it. It doesn't matter if it's just gonna be a weekly repeatable thing. Just let me play through a story once at least. I would really appreciate that. Time to recruit. Sniper? Snipper. Let's go with you. I haven't used you in a while, and let's immediately upgrade you as well. Nice, and I'm gonna keep the other 2 for the next visit, so it's cheap and easy. Oh, there's an entrance here. Okay, go here and just acquire candles. Just get candles and keep the candles for later. So she really never talks to people. Technically speaking, she very rarely opens her mouth to say anything, because her arts are essentially being channeled through her words. And from what was established through her lore so far, she doesn't really have too much control over it. Like in the... what was it? The operator record, one of the operator records, I think Elysium has 2. Maybe 1. I don't remember. But in Elysium's operator record, which has the meeting between him and Mantra for the first time, they just don't show her. She actually whispers something under her breath, and the guy literally hears it. He hears it. And is not affected by it. Which which when Elysium leaves catches both Mantra and well, catches the other guy that is with Mantra a bit off guard. Like, wait, he heard you? Which was very funny. Rosmo. Rosmo. Mm-hmm. Okay. We gotta visit all locations and get some insights into those locations. Could be a way to revisit all areas and see how they have changed over time. Yeah. Yeah, that would be neat, Crystal. Like with the early logos and Ascalon appearance. Yeah, one of the early logos appearances was also done like the Mantra one. You don't get to see logos, but he is there and he's talking. You get to see his text. I managed chapter 9 semi lore accurate, save for the boss fight. Yeah, the boss fight is not gonna be something you can probably do lore accurate. That fight sadly has gimmicks. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Nibble, nibble, nibble. Okay, good. Okay, I need to remove it. Otherwise, we're gonna be here for a while. Is it connected to Elysium's arts? Maybe, potentially? Potentially, yeah. Something innate to Elysium. Because I mean, Elysium is essentially responsible for long distance communication setups together with Mantra and everybody else in the team. Whereas my old squad doesn't work with with auto anymore because my operators have gotten stronger and or now have a module. Yeah, honestly, I think I said this a long while ago. I really wish Arknights had the same type of repeat function like Reverse 1999 has, which is in Reverse's case, it's literally a recording. Like, no matter what you did to units and everything, if you succeeded once, it will succeed every time with the same numbers, the same setup. It will never deviate. Because technically speaking, it's a full-on one-to-one recording of how it happened the first time. And I wish Arknights would do the same when it comes to its repeat function. It would make things so much easier. Because sometimes you succeed purely because of a random lucky crit or random lucky placement or random lucky got pushed into a certain direction or some shit like that made it possible. Like it can be a literal split decision, and I wish the game would actually just straight up record how you're doing it, and when you're doing it on repeat, just basically play the recording from memory. On toss 1 life point, sure. to remain, like, for example, an Arcosono whose land can be each location has a unique land with snippets. Yeah? They could do a lot with it, depending on what they base it on. If flower coin is tossed, obtain collectibles above. What do we have? For every defender on the field, allied units take 10% less physical. All allies have 50% physical dodging, gain 30% attack for 6 seconds after dodging. What do you need? Flower. Okay, sure. I can toss 5 coins. Got 2 flower coins. Thanks. Simple option, collect all. Okay. Men only speak of the new waves of later generations surging forward, far and wide, but they do not see the endless waves of generations past, refusing to stop dreaming of the sea. Okay, that was philosophical. Thanks. Thanks for that. All enemies 10% attack and HP. Thanks. Thanks for that as well. Okay. It's her. Sure, Pathfinder. How many? Yeah, I only have 1 candle guest. Yeah, this one is not gonna do much. I need to go through a Pathfinder. Okay, middle it is. This thing. Siege Indra, Dagda, Morgan. Yeah, for chapters 10 and onward, you will have so many freaking options. For chapters 10 and onward, you will have so many freaking lore accurate options to pass all the stages, it's crazy. Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot. Two shield, give me the 2 shield, why not? Okay, Pathfinder. Okay. I could use a medic. Okay, and now I can even do one more. Haven't used you in a while, why not? Okay. This map. Alright. Moving. A 6-star altar towards the story finale. I would honestly not be surprised if they give her a 6-star altar version for whatever reason by the end of Act 3. Considering how far in the future we are at this point, like in the 1100, beginnings of 1100, depending on when Act 3 ends, I would not be surprised if they give Amiya an actual 6-star version of whatever type.
階級の凶悪を削除すれば官庁倫理たり。
私とテレジアさんの思いがここに具現化します。戦場って本当にご無沙汰な言葉よ。
7-star army from IS5 sending 5. Oh god. That would be a crazy altar. I'm gonna go brr.
Kokorozashi かなって得意満面といったところかな。聞くんよ。しかれどもおごることなかれだ。とはいえ、褒めるべきは褒めねばならないかな。よくやったね。
Wait, Pepe? What? Pepe in the name? What? Huh? Oh, no Pepe, okay. I was like, huh? What? Sure. Merchant? I can't do shit with the merchant anyway. Okay, I can't go. I can't even go up to the merchant. Okay. Battle, 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 battle. The admin, that is a can of worms. That will be one hell of a reveal. Yeah, whatever they're planning with the admin's reveal or whatever the shit is going on there, it's gonna be... It's gonna be something. It's definitely gonna be something. There we go. That's the explosion I was looking for. Distraction. Grilled rice. Explosion. Shoot, this is fine. Like I said, I'm just making grilled rice. What's the big deal? Anyway. For fuck's sake. Right, as well as okay. Just reminding myself very quickly. Oh, it's fine, don't worry about it.
みんな頑張ろうね。
What would Shu cook with rice balls? Do not do what you're about to do. Don't you dare. I know where that joke is going. Don't you dare. You're not doing that bullshit again. Fuck's sake.
私とテレジアさんの思いがここに具現化します。 ドクター、愛が傷を癒していく。
捕らえさせな。真の姿を映して戦場に積もる恨みはいつか散らん。
Oh yeah, I don't really have anything to ground her. Might be a problem.
今から起きることを見たくないなら離れてて。こっちを見ないでね。
Ow.
私の気を犯した。 階級の戦場に積もる恨みはいつか散らん。
あなたの声だけでは叫べない部分少しは楽になるから。
私を追って影に踏み込んでこい。
こちらアーニ涙の後には新たな命が芽吹きます。
There's so many of these shits. She's just healing herself. Yeah, I don't really have anything to hit her with. So she's just gonna walk through. Fine. It's pretty Mandalorian.
たまにはこういうこともあるさ。自分を責めすぎないで。あとは私に任せなさい。
Sure. Right, uppers gain 20% attack and HP. Every Sui remnant consciousness battle cleared increases effects by 10%. Yes. Yes. Not the right one. Definitely not the right coin. Not a fan of the Ascalon skin. It's fine. It's fine, and she didn't have a skin, so you know what? She gets one. Okay. I see a Pathfinder. I see a Pathfinder. Oh, this one. 1 additional candle, lose 5 points the next time you enter the room. 3 additional candles. I think I have enough candles for over there. I think I have enough. Oh, this map. Okay, sure. Sure. Sure.
戦のための歌、悲しみを紡ぐ歌。影すら捕らえさせない。
Oh. Need another blocker. Rip melted through him. Bite his ankle. Anyone pick up the skins from the latest batch? There's a bunch of... I think I picked up all of the collab skins, I think at least. Jesus Christ, Rosmontes, chill. But yeah, I think I also got all of the Sanrio skins. They look pretty dope. Especially the Lumen one. The Lumen one is so drippy. Like that skin is literally just someone put him in that and told him go out into the world and slay. Okay. Time to grab more units and promote some other units. Okay, so yes. Yes. You could be fun. You could be very fun. Medics. Speaking of, why not? Speaking of, I was literally mentioning him. Okay, I don't have enough hope to promote him, so that's gonna be fine. Oh, hi, you. Do I have... I think I have something I can toss at you. Yeah, this thing. Bank of Gold check. All operators start with plus 12 SP. Thank you. Alright, now we can go in and explore the realm to our heart's content. Grab anything. Anything and everything. Heirloom and U-Official are the best ones. What was that? Oh yeah, that one for you. Right, that one does look also pretty nice. Gonna leave you auto.
安心してください、ドクター。ちゃんと皆さんについていきますから。
Sure. Okay, combat stuff. Let's see. I have 11 candles. Holy shit, we're gonna be here a while. We are gonna be here a while. Go. But yeah, this batch of the Sanrio skins looks, I would say, almost better than the last one. The last one was very like super cutesy. This one was kind of like a nicer balance between both drip and cute. Holy Ingrid! Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Oh, she's super buffed. Oh, wait. Up. Jesus Christ. The rat didn't even get time enough to leave the place over there. Nice. Leftmost operator in the deployment waiting zone gains 10 initial SP, 30 attack speed, and 30% attack. Very good. That goes into the vault. Adopts. What are you gonna give? Lose 5 ingots, try your luck. 4 more. Okay, yeah, lose. Oh god. I have 1 flower coin. 2 risk coins. Let's go with the risk. I mean, I'm tossing 5 coins at once. Ayy. Lose 1 max life point, gain 4 shields passed through this node. Yes. Okay, next. Okay. Alright. Alright. Sakiko, yes? Yeah, I do. I do have her upgraded. Oh. Middle line is, spicy. Game. Is she gonna live this? What the shit did she just do? That thing disappeared! Get the bear! Okay.
足かせになんてならない。
まずはこのコートを撃ち落とせるかやってみる。
命令を出して誰かがやらないといけないことがある。
Yeah, wait, you can't attack over there. Fuck.
花に酔えり羽織り着て刀刺す女。
What's this thing doing? Oh, there we go. Oh, that was...
敵の選択肢をそぎ取り、無自覚のうちに。
Yeah, this is regular difficulty because this is story. This is Link's story, so everything is squish. When operators lose 30% HP, inflicts fear on all enemies within attack range for 10 seconds. Screeching blowgun, right, this thing. Okay. For later. More doubts. Sure, free pass. 2 collectibles. When an operator successfully dodges or resists damage, the next attack deals 100% damage, extra damage. When operators use an ammo type skill. Okay, I don't have another doubt. Oh, same one. It's the same one. Sure. Guards have 25% attack. Okay. When enemies are defeated, surrounding operators and summons recover 300 HP. Nice. Another! Ooh, the dubbed conga line. When you have 10 or more max life points pass through this node. Thank you. Caster operators deal 70% extra arts damage. Okay, the last thing is a plan. Okay, what about this dubbed? Oh yeah, this. Fine, fuck it. I'll take it. I'll take it, fuck it. Why not? Why the hell not? Not right now. What is this? Oh. Uh-huh. Ingots. Uh-huh. Shield, yes. Uh-huh. I will need healing. I will need healing. Uh-huh. Okay. Oh. Oh. 4-season brush. For 1 time per battle, an operator deployed with 4 operators already on the field will gain status resistance, 50% attack, and take 50% less elemental injury. Oh. Oh. More order dupes. Well, at least Hoarder hits hard. There's so many nations that have accelerate our attack. Mm-hmm.
安心して。アーツのコントロールはちゃんとできるから。
Oh. Doggy and statue. Uh-huh. You son of a bitch. Yeah, okay. Okay. Ingrid was too expensive to deploy because of that risk coin. Okay, let's try that again. Getting 3 order tubes gets even harder. What the hell? Why does Hoarder wants to visit your account so much?
私が止まったら君たちも止まって。
Shit.
私とテレジアさんの思いがここに具現化します。
He wakes up so fast. He wakes up so freaking fast. Okay, not gonna be risking that battle again then.
泥沼から抜け出せただけで十分な成果だからね。
What is this one?
の有無はそこまで重要ではない。
Ah, okay. Okay. This one is simple. This one is very simple. Oh, now you're 14. Now you're costing 14 to deploy. You dingus.
いい環境だ。
影すら捉えさせない。
Okay.
花に酔えり羽織着て刀刺す女。
杖が私の思いに共鳴します。
記憶に残るのは
花に酔えり羽織着て刀刺す女。
Just bring to the blue box right away. No, no.
記憶に残るのは
No downtime. We are moving. The enemy finally became smart. They finally realized that the longer they wait, the riskier it gets for them. Bum rush the enemy, the true tactic. The best defense is pure offense.
敵の選択肢をそぎ取り、無自覚のうちに袋小路に向かわせる。あまりにも見知ったやり方だ。
Alright, one more onto the pile for later.
遅かれ早かれ
And we're back in normal space. Okay.
せいぜい身の振り方を考えておけ。言っておくが、君は粛清の猶予期間を与えるつもりはない。
Ascalon, please. Raise your cup to the heavens for a century for a century of drunkenness. That is definitely a Ling story. I sincerely hope the story is gonna just be her continuously being drunk and nothing else. It's just, the story is just Link being in a drunken stupor the entire time through. Oh, there's another Wonderland? I mean, sure. Okay, let's start from the bottom. Then I can switch up.
本当に私を前線に出すの？本気の本気？
Current version causes a reconvener? No. Not really. Because it's still her. Take a shot for every life point lost for the best experience. Every time you hear that meh, you need to take a drink. Let's see about that. Okay. That drinking game would wreck you in IS. Especially with the amount of life points you can stack in IS.
戦うことが唯一の選択肢です。
Come on, come on. 28. 28. 28.
いい環境だ。降るあだに積もる恨みの落ち葉なく。
Okay.
色葉の赤。
Nice.
まずはこのコートを撃ち落とせるかやって。
That's fine, she can live.
ちょっと待ってたが。
Ingrid might not live.
戦のための歌。
Ow.
悲しみを紡ぐ歌。
私の名は闇騎士の目にはすぐ
Ow. Okay. I don't get enough time to deploy anything. Thank you, game.
私の思いに共鳴します。
Okay, this might be dicey.
春風が雨と化す時節ね。
Supreme Leader Amia is being defeated by paper.
あなたを土に植えるわ。
Oh
生
boy.
まれ変わりなさい。
Oh boy, how many of these?
涙の後には新たな命が芽吹きます。
Yes! I knew one of them is gonna be it. Oh well. Shut up. Okay. Well, story is unlocked. That's the important part. Thank you. Oh yeah, furniture, right. This gave a whole set. Oh, first. We're swapping to the chill music. I'm not reading stories with boss battle soundtracks. Oh, I never picked this thing up. 4 seasons brush. Dusk's a specially created brush that also serves as her seal. When she puts brush to parchment, the 4 seasons stay as is. Cute. Alright. Paperwork is sure scary. Hey, paper cuts are painful. Alright, story time. Let's see. Drunk today. What harm is there getting drunk for the realm? Okay, let's hear your story. What kind of insight are you gonna give to the whole thing? After successive years of catastrophe, famine loomed over the land. Great first sentence. To combat this shortage of grain, the Yan of Eld proclaimed a series of decrees, including one that banned alcohol. Oh, this is a nightmare. Oh, this story is gonna be a nightmare for Ling. As such, the wretched masses lost the last bit of happiness they had to console themselves with. While the rich and elite also felt some sting, it was not impossible for a wine-loving mandarin to find a private source. For a while, wine was an extravagance, one that demanded not just coin but also influence for a few measly sips. It is under these circumstances that an ode to finest wine spreading across the streets came to the attention of the court. There is a line in it that goes, "From whom do spring waters surrender, brewed by mortal hands into finest wine?" This has to be talking about brewing moonshine, right? That is a crime most grave. Oh god. After some investigating, the writer of this ode is none other than a popular folk poet, and her words about the exquisite taste of moonshine have captivated the spirit of the people. No wine passes their lips, yet the poem leaves them intoxicated. With the ban having been in place for some time, who could restrain themselves after reading such alluring words? Okay, interesting. Rumor has it that this poet is ordinarily the elusive sort, yet she has lately come to stay at a cottage at the foot of the mount. Jeez. Soon the mandarins surround that shabby, dilapidated, thatched cottage. All they smell is the piercing scent of alcohol mixed with a heady fragrance of flowers. A smell rarely found within the mortal realm, one that had all gathered salivating. They see commoners sneaking around the cottage taking peeks. Surely they did not limit themselves to brewing and drinking this wine themselves. They must be smuggling it too. Sure. With a wave of a mandarin's hand, the commoners are arrested. Then they knock upon the door. The one within is a great rider, popular with the people. It would be uncouth to treat her like a common boor. The door opens with a creak, and everyone cranes their necks towards the cottage's interior. All they see is a cluttered pile of wine jugs, the intoxicating smell of alcohol all the stronger around it. Among the jugs, a single person can be seen, the poet in question, it seems. She takes no heed of her guests, raising her head to inspect the wine in her cup, composing a poem of praise as she does so. From her litany of words, it seems this brew is one that even the Xian would yearn for. And now it was here in the mortal realm. All present begin drooling after hearing this. The leader of the Mandarin steps forward to reproach her. What is that you have there in your hand? The poet gives a toast. A cup laden with spring. The Mandarin looks to where her hand is pointing. The holes in the walls of the cottage frame a mountain view, yet the view through each hole is different. The Mandarin continues his stern rebuke. Have you not heard of the ban on alcohol? Not only have you brewed in private, but you have also written poems that disrupt social order. Yet another crime. What grain there... is it her speaking? Probably her speaking. What grain there was has been sent for disaster's relief, with flour and honey of Mount. Alongside some leftover rice wine, did I brew a few jugs? Did I brew a few jugs? A flavor most distinctive. Having spoken, the poet performed a gesture that said, "Pray, partake." Seeing a few cups on the table, the mandarins look at one another with hesitation. True, flowers and honey do not necessarily brew into wine. Before we accuse you of this crime, we must first prove that what you drink is liquor. The lead mandarin raises his voice as he says this, being the first to pick up a cup. Seeing his subordinates frozen in place, he orders them to pick up cups as well. Their eyes meet, and they all know one thing. This matter stays here. Police officers around the table. We will not partake in the cocaine. Everybody raises a line in front of them. No one talks about this. If they confiscate this wine and pass it to their superiors, how will they ever have their own share? Good question. Everyone quickly rests upon the jugs, ladling out this legendary brew. They carefully smell it and cherish the taste. After a sip, their complexions change. This wine, it seems sour and incredibly bitter to boot. However, the younger mandarins feared offending their boss, while the lead mandarin feared being accused of not being able to appreciate fine wine, so they forced it down their throats. Not long after, one man rubbed his belly and cried out in pain. Soon they all knelt to the ground, pain clear across their faces. The lead mandarin points at the poet. Did you poison us? This is just in line with Li Bai, who glorified drinking wine, which clashed with authoritative and political morals. The poet happily raises a jug to her mouth. How could she drink such swill, let alone write an ode to it? Nobody had the leisure to care about her though. The cries of pain are accompanied by a desperate need for the toilet. But they see that the door has been completely surrounded by the commoners, who give a hearty laugh. We were going to warn the poet that the last batch she brewed had gone off, and not to drink it. Who'd have thought it'd be you lot to suffer for it? Serves you right. Oh, that is amazing. The complaints grow, and there is no way out through the crowd. Who were arranging them to their hypocrisy? Those inside hold their bellies, resisting the urge to vomit while lifting their weapons as they try to threaten the people locking them in. For a moment, the cottage is as clamorous as the market. As for the poet, nobody had noticed her moving up to the roof, drinking some jugs that none could stomach without a care. True, fine wine is fair to a drunkard, but would one even refuse even a poor brew? Yeah, she doesn't care. Her stomach is resistant to everything at this point. China also often prohibited grain-based alcohol during famines or to preserve food. Nothing unrealistic here, yeah. Ban on alcohols were all too common across the ages when it was needed. For whatever reason, but yeah, stuff like that was common. So people brewing alcohol under a ban was really crazy. Alright, part 2. Oh god, how do you say this? By the Shuyu Pavilion, a creek has been harnessed into a meandering stream. The young talents of the day gather by it, drinking until drunk while exuberantly reciting poetry to one another. These gatherings inevitably devolve into farces of flattery. The poet is uninterested, sitting on her lonesome under an old tree as she appreciates the waterscape, several jugs of wine by her side. She drinks cup after cup, yet never seems to get drunk. After yet another empty jug, she has lost interest. Just as she intends to leave, she suddenly hears unusual noises and cries of alarm. She looks toward their source and sees a great beast covered in mud, rampaging between the mountain rocks. One moment it is threatened upon by poets' verses, the other it is muddying the waters they were watching. All while nearly knocking over some of the noodly scholars. Eventually it tires itself out, boldly resting itself by the water. The scholars trepidly approach it to have a better look. Someone notices it as notices it is a burden beast, its body bearing deep scars left by ropes lashed to it year-round, alongside many ghastly injuries. But now it has no nameplate, nor reins. No doubt it is now masterless. With such a wicked temperament, could it be a war beast that was discharged? This meaning of a vulgar intruder would ordinarily put a damper on the graceful assembly of the intellectuals, but the poets guess at its history with... Wait, what? But the poets guess at its history with gusto, and there is talk of composing a poem about this amusing incident. They spread out paper and grind their ink, carefully observing the burden beast in search of inspiration. They did not expect the beast to suddenly stand up and prepare to charge. In the face of its fury, the desire to compose is scared out of the scholars, and they scatter and flee. Only the solitary poet under the tree remains. Yeah, good night, Crystal. Alright. She says to the burden beast, 1,000 li you have traveled. The creek's waters shall leave you your thirst unslacked. She opens a jug of fine wine and invites it to drink. After a sip, the beast giddily slurps at the liquor, and soon the jug is half empty. And she watches the beast totter a few steps. Suddenly a sand whirls through the air. The poet looks out to see dark clouds on the horizon, the flicker of thunder faint with them. Catastrophe clouds. Okay, she looks at the burden beast. Its back now laden with a multitude of people. It no longer seems exhausted nor wrathful. It strides firmly, sprinting like mad while carrying its precious cargo. It rushes forward, dodging the falling originium crystals. It runs, running through clouds of dust and dirt, charging out of Catastrophe's reach. It keeps running, bearing the people upon its back to find a safe haven. "It seems I'm within your dream," murmurs the poet. The burden beast runs and runs and runs toward the verdant green before it. Its steps do not slow, yet the sight before its eyes becomes vague and indistinct. "I see. Yeah, vehicles were their invention, and fair lands have they found. You need not run any longer. But how could you possibly stop?" The sky clears and the sand-laden wind disappears. The green meadow is also gone, leaving both poet and burden beast sitting under the tree by the Shuyu pavilion. The burden beast stands once more, not looking towards the poet or any fond memory of the land. It strides, then gallops at full speed, with wild abandon. Nothing can stop it. The poet stands up. With her tail, a brush, wine, her ink, she begins to scribble upon the mountain rocks like mad. The tides of history may rise and fall, yet they are but an instant. Men only speak of the new waves of later generations surging forward far and wide, but they do not see elden waves of generations past, refusing to stop dreaming of the sea. The poet finally seems tipsy. Only took billions of years. Only took a long time for her to finally get drunk. Okay. Okay. Was just looking what happened there. She loves to drink, she loves poetry, and this is an interesting passage displaying how time changes from using burden beasts to run and hide from catastrophes to cities that carry the people now instead of the burden beasts. I think that second phrase, the second part, was an analogy to the one item we can get in here in IS6, which is the burden beast with a city on its back. Okay, final part. Oh heaven, why do you look with but one eye wide? Oh earth, why do you shake like a swing on a branch? Oh, I suppose I am drunk once more. Yes, my dear, you are. The poet faces the twin moons as she lies in the center of the lake, pondering her lot. A moment ago, she was on a boat on the lake, not wishing to drink alone. She invited heaven to imbibe as well, yet heaven's position up high troubled her, and so she leapt into the lake. By lying down upon its surface, she would be face to face with the heavens and need not raise her head. With her body as a boat, she puttered about the lake and drank deep alongside the sky. Thus she got drunk. Content in her cups, and with such a pleasant view, she does not wish to sober up, and knows not where the current might take her, or for how long. All she knows is that partway through her journey, some unremarkable reeds have blocked her way. The reeds wobble, pulling her up in an attempt to flip her over. It seems the wind is murmuring to her. The true Lung decrees. She's that drunk. What shall we do then? How do we report this? different sentences across time from different people. The Reed's words too are dull. Naturally, she tells them the truth. She's drinking with heaven and has no time to mind them. And so she brushes aside the reed and continues drifting onwards. Yet before she has drifted much longer, she spies a great colossus slowly rise. At first it is but a lump of iron, one that gradually grows into a Farenmut just like it. It towers as it heads to shore, covered in steel as if forged from metal, as if it were it. She speaks to it in wonder. Have you awoken, or perhaps it is I who has not? Its steely form replies to her with creaking metal. She then asks, once you looked towards the distant lantern lights of men. How do you feel now that you bear them upon your back? All it says are some monotonous creaks. She appreciates the light upon its back with great interest, before letting out a quiet sigh. Pity, I cannot lie upon the lake like this. Once more she drifts onwards, watching mountains move and fields shift while men come and go. She sees more and more Farenmuts of steel grow. Reeds rustle while foul beasts skim against the water. She watches them through the haze of liquor until she has finally seen her fill. She sits up. As she sobers from her grand inebriation, her eyes see a city, one unfamiliar yet familiar, a century of drunkenness, and Yan is no longer Yan as it once was. A muddled memory comes to her. The True Lung decrees. That Reed was a court mandarin. Her lack of concern is hardly anything to be concerned about. She unstupors her wine. Stoppers? Is it stupor or stopper? Whatever. She unstoppers her wine gourd and sprinkles these scant drops of wine left onto the lake. To those long gone, slinging her gourd across her back, she steps towards the city of steel. So, basically, spent centuries drunk, not paying any heed or mind to the people around her, not really interested, just observing occasionally, and by that time, multiple mobile cities were already constructed, plus the main city of Yan was constructed around the main body of the Farenmut, containing it essentially. Crazy. And now she's awake and not drunk anymore. Going to the city. Fun. Longing for company, even it's a reflection. Yeah. Which is more true, her drunken state or her being a god? I mean, she's a drunken goddess at this point. But okay, this one was interesting to some degree. Pretty much just clarifying that, yeah, for centuries she was just drunk. The very reason she never really interfered with anybody was she was just drunk. She was just drunk and she was writing poetry and she was drinking more. Great. Great. Okay. Rather interesting. Interesting that at the end she did actually have some interest and recollection of what was happening and actually is sober now. Witnessing an actual sober Ling is probably gonna be an interesting treat. How much of this shit do I still have? Oh god. Alright, but that is the story. We have achieved the whole thing. Who's gonna be next month's story? Now that I think about it. Who is gonna be in... Which sibling, rather, is next month? Because they're going through all of the siblings. Sightseer scroll. Who is next month? Next month is Chongya! Next time is the fisticuffs, bro. Mr. Kung Fu himself. Wouldn't a lore section in Enfield about Sarcastikas be way too long? Yes! I mean, not really long, you can explain that very quickly. But there's literally no point to explain it right now. Did even Tikas... I don't even remember over the last month, did even Tikas come up in the Let's Play at any given point? I don't remember. She's questioning whether her dreaming, her drunkenness is more real than the awakened state of this... of the Faramut. Mm-hmm. But at one point you might have to go into it a little. Like with everything else that I did so far for the lore and everything, if there's gonna be a point where they heavily go into stuff like Tikas or something, I'll do it, but until it happens, there is no point. The terms and terminology that I was explaining so far and other stuff was literally part of, hey, these terms keep coming up. Like the stuff about the guns, about Rhode Island, about the recent one about Surtur, which was obvious. The first one that I did, because the beginning of the game is literally, hey, remember Arknights? It's just a melancholic take on the immortal burden. Yeah, pretty much, like I said, that is pretty much the story in a nutshell. A melancholic take on the immortal burden. She's immortal, she lives, she sees the times pass, and the stuff around her... And the stuff around her change and evolve, and she's just there, she's part of it all, but doesn't really perceive it. Yeah, again, it's like... It's the same principle as what they usually describe with other characters that can live for centuries, where like something like 10 years for a normal person is a very long time. For an immortal person or person who can live a long time, it's literally a second or a minute. They don't even perceive it in the same way. Basically just taking a nap and finding out that the ground below turned from earth to iron yam. Pretty much. And Kirby. Yeah, that bit in the last Enfield episode was fun to make, but like I said, took way longer than a day to put together. I was basically literally finishing up that last bit of the lore section for Surtur, and I was just gonna finish it normally, and then while I was taking a break, I saw a video from More Paz, the Australian guy, with the funny little short videos, and that gave me the idea. I was like, idea, time to make a funny. And then it took an extra day of work. But at the end of the day, it turned out well, so I'm happy with that. Despite the fact that I took a whole extra day of the whole thing to make it work. Also, by the way, that video rendered for like 3 hours. I am not even joking. That video rendered for like 3 hours that evening. and it's 75 bloody gigabytes. Thanks, Mihail. It was a huge video. Took close to an hour and a half just to upload. That was ridiculous. The upload and YouTube rendering on YouTube side took as long as the render of the video. It was it was stupidly it was so stupid long time. That's 2 Enfields, yes. That episode is the size of 2 Enfields. Thank you. Exactly. That's what I intended to do with the lore bits in Enfield. Like, put some effort into them. Like I said at the beginning when I started with the first episode, like at the beginning it's gonna be a learning curve to get a couple of those out, but as time progresses, it keeps going. The one thing that I still wish I could have timed a bit better when it comes to like special effects and everything is the one bit that I was doing for Rhode Island, but that one was horrendous. That special effects section with the text appearing like you're typing it or the computer is displaying it, the green text. That one by itself was already like in preview mode inside of the editor. It was already dropping the frame rate in the editor as a preview down to like 20-25, which was watchable and I could watch it. But the moment you put a picture in there, because I was using like Calcid and Ascalon to signal who is talking in those texts, the moment you put a picture over those special effects, for some stupid reason, that whole section dropped to a single frame. And the worst part is when I put the video to render, during rendering that same section, every single time it would hit the section to render it out, it was rendering the thing at 1 or 2 frames a second. That took forever. I was going insane. I was just praying that the thing doesn't crash, because then I have to render the whole video again. My second Gilberta duped on Tang Tang banner. Oh yeah, I haven't even looked at the banner. I'm probably just gonna do a free pull on the Tang Tang banner because of the free tickets when I'm gonna be recording the next time, which is gonna be tomorrow evening probably. That's in which part was the Rhode Island video? Hold on. Hold on, I can actually show it, but I'm gonna play it without the audio. Oh my god, in which part was it? Was it in the Gilberta and... Was it in this section? Hold on. No, it wasn't here. Was the video before that? Oh yeah, it was in the one before it. It's in the one with the ending for Valley 4, I think. Yeah. Okay, here, hold on. I'm gonna play it without the audio, just to show which effect I mean. I think it's right after this section. Yeah. Okay, hold on. Let me... Is it properly in frame? Yeah, it is. Okay. That green shit, that text, if you put a picture under it, or sorry, above it, so it displays inside of the frame, you're gonna see it in a second. When you put a picture over the special effect in the editor, the whole thing runs with a single frame. Like, Calcid being here made the whole thing, and Ascalon, made the whole thing in the editor run at a single frame. Rendered out, it's completely normal. But in the editor, I had to scroll through this thing painfully. I could not properly time the text on screen. And the other problem is I cannot even time the whole text properly anyway. That was the other issue. I can only set for the entire thing like a timer how fast I wanted to display itself on screen. So I had to just eyeball the thing. But yeah, that was ridiculous. That was stupidly ridiculous. And I still don't know why it was doing it. But without the pictures, it was kind of running fine. But then again, I have to eyeball the speed of the text. It's really done some damage. Yes. PRTS has done some real damage. It really has. It really, really has. But at least the last video was fine. It's the one that I just showed, that special effect. It's I can't remember what it's called. I think DaVinci Resolve calls it fusion something. You basically have to set up everything manually. But I still don't know why it's fighting itself when you put some extra like layered pictures on top of it. And I haven't figured out if I can put pictures inside of it. Maybe I can put... I'm gonna probably look... If I have to reuse this special effect at some point, I'm gonna have to check if I can couple in a picture, but I have no idea how I would time it inside of the special effect. The special effect is literally like looking at building blocks of a code. Like I'm making a game inside of the editor. It's something else. Luckily for everything, there's a tutorial. So it's sort of easy to figure out. But good God. I'm learning the weirdest tricks while I'm doing the Enfield parts. But yeah. But speaking of, I don't think the next two episodes are gonna have any kind of lore sections. Unless I'm gonna stumble into something with interest that keeps popping up. Because the next two episodes are pretty much gonna be Valley 4 cleanup. There's a shit ton of quests, including the bases and everything. Some people have missed the confirmation that PRTS is a program. Does it already count as AI? I mean, it is AI. Was created based on brain scans from Priestess. Yeah? I did, but for now I'm waiting. Look, a story, new Arknight story is approaching, and I kind of want to clear out Valley 4. And those lore sections take an entire day to put together. From writing script, to getting pictures, to getting music, to aligning everything inside of the editor. It takes a long time. Like just editing a normal episode is already like 2 hours after recording. After spending like 4 or 5 hours on recording. So the next two episodes are just gonna be quick and dirty Valley 4 clear up. Just so I can get at least 2 episodes out before... before I start working on the new main story for Arknights next week. And a poll video for Mantra. The poll video for Mantra is gonna be easy. That one I'm gonna be recording this time on the day the patch goes live. So that one's gonna be fine. Good thing is that you only have to suffer through it once to know how to get it done. Yes. Yes. pretty much, like I just said, it takes time to gather the material I need, like the pictures, the audio. If I need to do some special effects, I need to look it up and figure out how to do that in the editor. All of that takes some time, but the most time-consuming part is literally just gathering all the detail. The script is quick. The script is quick and done in like maybe an hour, because it's a small like 5-10 minute section. But the rest is like horrendous amounts of time to get everything done, especially like finding music. Finding the appropriate music is the most probably time-consuming part. You're at a good pace to catch up. I hope so. Like I said, 1.0 was really good, but thankfully not that long. Yeah, the patches from now on are not gonna be long, cause Enfield is pretty much gonna do the same thing like pretty much any other gacha is doing with its story. The individual patches with new main story patch are not gonna be long. They're gonna be maybe 3, maybe 4 hours at most. They're just gonna be prolonging the story every time. And the rest of the patch is events and login rewards and whatever else they decide to... And maybe some minigame thing they drop in. That's pretty much the patch cycle for every single 3D based gacha game. Main story is always gonna be the shortest part of it. I can't remember who said it. I remember hearing someone say, or like not say, but like talk about that it would be amazing if Enfield would do the same thing as what basic Arknights is doing, and do like side stories that are based in different countries. And I'm like, that's not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. That is not gonna happen. That would mean they would have to design an entire new country. This is not a visual novel. Enfield is not a visual novel like Arknights, where you need to write text and commission 10 pieces of art. Plus design new characters that are essentially JPEGs with a bunch of text. 1.0 looks to be much more in terms of a story and content, so there is that. I mean, yeah, some patches are going to be longer, some patches are going to be shorter, but the story is never going to be, in the individual patches, never going to be longer than like between 4 or 6 hours at most. We need more countries for that first. I mean, yeah, pretty much the only thing Enfield now has as in countries is the 3 different groups from the Civilization band. And we've got introduced to all 3 of them and have a vague idea of what each one of them is about, but yeah, we're gonna only go step by step to each one of them. Like once the 1.x cycle is complete, the 1.x cycle is pretty much just probably gonna end with Wuling's story, and then either in 2.0 or just prior to 2.0 we're gonna get some warm-up story for the next area we go to. We still need more 4 stars and 5 stars. Yeah, 4 stars and 5 stars, I wonder how they're gonna do. If they're gonna introduce more of them over time. Because again, the other gacha games that are in a similar position with, you know, 3D action games essentially, don't really get a lot of 4 stars and 5 stars, or like low rarity characters. They only keep introducing like the high rarity ones. So I don't know, we'll see. I hope they do keep introducing new 4 stars and 5 stars. Either as parts of events or something else. We also have some smaller countries like... Yeah. There are also words of some smaller regions and stuff like that. I mean, those smaller regions could work as like a single patch event type of thing, where you just go and get it introduced. Because then you just need to introduce it through like a single map, probably. Stuff like that could work, but the big countries, you're not getting those until we go there with the main story. The best they could do is if they want to tease another country while it's still in development, and they do a cutscene that plays in that other place. Like just to show characters or something, or the people we're talking to. And they give you a small little, like, tiny little tease and glimpse what the area looks like. That is possible. But until the story gets to, like, the next area, we are not getting there. We are definitely not gonna go there. Would be cool if in the future we could get stories from characters in areas we were in the past when the admin doesn't play a big role in my opinion. That would also be interesting. Like a flashback sequence story. That could also be interesting. If they can pull that off in any shape or way. To be fair, in that case they would also have to... they would also then have to load up a map that doesn't have the AIC structures in place. Possible, but that would probably require a lot of extra work. But doable. I think Enfield is also like a pseudo-colonizing game. We make AICs better, the environment, and make civilization stronger. Yeah. Better the environment. That laugh. Sure, I'm gonna better the environment. Places down 20 towers on a single 10-meter long street. It would just be an instance map, so I don't think that would be an issue. Yeah, as an instance map, it would work. Like if they just have to, as an instance, load in like a basic version of the map or something. They could do it. It's just probably a bit of extra work, because I think, or rather, I have a dumb feeling that the maps, rather, the way they are very, very tightly coded to work in line with your infrastructure. But doable. It's definitely doable. It's just like extra work. But it depends. We'll see what they do with it. I'll be down for it. Like a flashback sequence with a character. Watch me replace all water and walling with Mountain Dew? What? I guess that's the something to do with the water thing over there. I know that there is water stuff for buildings. I haven't seen it yet, but I know there's piping. Oh, the drowning. I'm actually surprised that none of the characters can swim, or that you can't swim at all. I'm actually surprised. That actually surprises me every time when it happens. Like, I get it in some maps, but in general, I'm just surprised that no one can apparently swim. Too much. I think I drowned the most in that northwestern portion where Wolfguard's quest starts of the power plateau, which is very funny. That area looks like it's very shallow, and then you step into it and you drown immediately, which is funny as hell. Even though they all have a swimming animation. Wait, do they? Where can you see the swimming animation? Imagine if an Aegir becomes playable, what will be the excuse? Oh my god, yeah. How are they gonna excuse the fish people not being able to swim? if they actually introduce a playable Aegir character, that fucker, whoever they're gonna be, better be able to swim. Like the first character who can swim. Like, that would not make sense. The freaking Aegir are all based on some fish folk. And they freaking live underwater and can even breathe for long periods of time underwater. Well, not all of them. But most of them. I'm actually gonna laugh my ass off if they do introduce an Aegir and the Aegir cannot swim and drowns immediately. Three Sarkas, one Sancta, and one Anasa at launch. Yeah. Even into Enfield, the Sarkas biasness continues. And I have nothing against it, but it's kind of funny. The last frame when you drown is swimming. It switches to the swimming animation. Oh, really? That's interesting. I haven't paid attention to that. Maybe they wanted to have some swimming originally, but they scrapped it for reasons? I still find it just funny that no one can swim. It's such a fun... Again, I understand it in some water sources where you shouldn't be swimming in. But in every water source, even normal water? Weird. But anyway, I think this is where we're gonna be wrapping it up for today. And yeah, like I said, next week is... DM'd it? Is it a video or is it... Hold on. Are you gonna load? Apparently it's not even gonna load. Okay, that works. That works better, hold on. Yeah, it's a YouTube. Okay, yeah, that was music. Hold on. Let me... Where's my... Where did I... Is it this one? I think it's this one? Yeah, this one, okay. Okay. Oh yeah, they swim up. Like they're trying to... Funny. Chen, your underwear. Lewd? I mean... Would I call this a swimming animation? It's more like they're trying to just get to the surface. Like they're drowning and they're trying to get back to the surface. But it's part of a swimming animation at least. She's wearing shorts, so not lewd. Sure. Let's go with that. I swear. Chen is like... The Enfield Chen is very, very, Estelle coded in some aspects. Kinda always reminds me of her. It's just weird because you only see it for a second before you die, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much just an animation of trying to get to the surface. Like swimming up, pushing the water down. trying to grasp for air, which is still funny. It is part of a swimming animation, definitely. So I do wonder if maybe at some point they had swimming in mind, but they scrapped it. Could also be. Imagine a character that makes Chen look smart. I have yet to see a character like that. Chen is pure muscle brain. Which is why she reminds me a lot of Estelle Bright from Sky. Really similar vibe. But anyway, like I said, this is where we're gonna end the stream for today. I have a 30 gigabyte Trails in the Sky episode now that I'm talking about it to upload. So that's gonna take its while. And then tomorrow I'm gonna be recording Enfield. And I'll see if I can actually bring it out at in the same day rather. We'll see. Chen has the lowest intelligence set among all of the characters. I have noticed that, Mihail. She definitely has a very, very low int stat. Makes sense. But yeah, anyway, we're gonna end here for tonight. Next week, probably not gonna be streams, but the regular content is gonna be up and about as normal. And yeah, next week is main story for Arknights. Exciting! Back to Ursus. with a good old granny that speaks in your head. But yeah, anyway, thanks for joining me, guys, and I'll be back with streaming probably when I'm gonna be done completely with work on the new main story episode for Arknights, and then we're gonna be trying the new ending here in IS, which is gonna be interesting probably. But yeah, until then, enjoy the normal shit, and I will see you guys around. Bye bye, good night.